Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. This is video 2 of a very busy Friday morning for you guys, coming to you from Los Angeles, California. We've got a question being asked. Is Rachel Recchia, aka Pilot Rachel, ready to find love? We'll sort of analyze her breakup conversation with Clayton, what she was kind of feeling in her after the final rose moment, and just, is this normal? Is it normal to move on from someone so quickly? To answer all those questions, I'll quickly say, yeah, she's perfectly fine, but we'll get into why. Someone asked on the subreddit Bachelor, Rachel does not seem ready to find love. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think Rachel has fully recovered from Clayton's season to be able to find love again. Same thing happened to Peter, who is not fully over Hannah Brown. During after the final rose, she seemed like she was still very hurt, and that's understandable, but I feel like if someone is still angry at their ex, they need some time to fully heal before they can start with a clean slate and find love. In contrast to Gabby, who held Clayton accountable, but seemed ready to move on. You know, we did look at Gabby and Rachel sort of in a different way, where Gabby was able to be very eloquent with Clayton, very impactful, but also very graceful. To say, look, I know you didn't mean any harm. I know you're trying your best, but this is what you did, and this is why I felt this way. Whereas Rachel was, up until the end of her conversation, being like, did you sleep with me did you say you love me because you wanted to sleep with me? Like, she was, she wasn't having any of it. Which brings up the term scorned lover. Scorned in the dictionary says contempt or disdain felt, we got two different apps open. Hold on a second, folks. Contempt or disdain felt toward a person or object considered despicable or unworthy. And that's exactly what Rachel felt. She felt used, abused, and tormented, really, after all the investment she made into her relationship, which is fine to feel. I mean, look, we have Katie Thurston here, Bachelorette finale. Katie accuses Gray of gaslighting her to get acting practice. So we see people come hot out of the gates. This is the first time that they've had a chance to talk to their ex in months. So not only are they reliving that moment, which some people will say the vicarious feeling of reliving a traumatic moment can bring back the same exact feeling as the initial trauma, sometimes even worse. I think about 6th grade when I asked this one girl to dance, and then later on in the same school dance, my first school dance, I asked another girl to dance, and then I found out they were sisters. Which is fine, but like then they were both like laughing at me. I still get embarrassed when I think about that moment. 11-year-old Dave wants a redo. You know what I mean? So, and again, that was it's fine now. I'm okay. I just got into comedy. But anyway, people, some agree and some disagree. Everyone treats love differently, right? You can be mad at somebody and still pursue life and move on and be happy. But in that moment, was Rachel upset with Clayton? Absolutely. Does that mean she can't find love? No, I think that's a very sort of like simple way of thinking. Someone says, not this again. When are y'all going to realize that these women are in a unique position of not being able to talk about their heartbreak they were put through for 4 months, during which they have to rewatch their love story, can't communicate with the man that put them through it, then they're forced to relive the moment it all fell apart in front of everyone on live TV and immediately confront their ex for the first time. It's a uniquely weird situation specifically designed to elicit the maximum emotion at that moment for entertainment purposes. It has nothing to do with each woman's individual healing process in her real life. Rachel specifically said to Clayton, these tears and emotions are not for you. They have nothing to do with you. They have nothing to do with any lingering feelings. Which, by the way, I disagree. Like, if Rachel's trying to prove to me, which she's not, that her tears and emotions are not for Clayton, she didn't do a good job. She didn't litigate her case. Obviously, she's upset because of Clayton. She's obviously upset because of what happened. And it's okay to harbor resentment and some anger. But of course, we, want to be able to move on. That's the whole goal. How to stop being angry at your ex. 4 ways to let go and reclaim your peace of mind. Let's just barrel through these. Acknowledge it. Anger is an emotion that people are often uncomfortable with. You may hold beliefs about anger, such as nice people don't get angry. Anger is unattractive. I'm above being angry. Some will go to extreme measures to numb the anger, often with self-destructive and unhealthy behavior, but avoiding it doesn't help it go away. The first step to letting it go is being okay with it. Okay, Rachel, be okay with your anger. I think she is. Express it. This is a tricky one. Not everyone has a live after the final rose to express it. You may have had the experience of stuffing your anger down until it erupts in one big explosion. You listening, Rach? Only to later regret it and promise to keep it stuffed down even deeper next time. Or you may have been criticized in the past for showing your anger. To be clear, there are healthy and unhealthy ways to express anger, and doing it in an unhealthy way can be damaging to you in your relationship with others. I think it was very healthy the way she shared her anger. I think she was able to get it out. Depersonalize it. What any one person says or does is always much more about them than it is about you. I think that speaks enough. That says exactly how it is. What Clayton did says more about him than it does about you, Rachel. So if you can, listen, if all of us in society can stop taking offense to things other people are doing, take road rage, for example. Road rage. If someone's cutting you off, yeah, sure, they're being inconsiderate and it's dangerous, but it says more about them than it does about you. You can't get mad at some faceless stranger. You're just going to raise your heart rate and have a bad day. In the end, my views on like how we go through life, I don't know if this is a Zen or Buddhist mindset, but it's the idea of learning not to react to certain stimuli that you can't control. You know, you're not going to be able to control the weather, but you can put sunblock on. You're not going to be able to control your partner, but you can, do the dishes and not be a slob. There's certain things you can control in life that'll make situations better, but also learning to not react to stimuli that's outside of your control really helps, you live a peaceful life. Number 4, heal it. Recovering from an emotional injury is not unlike recovering from a physical one. You need to rest and nurture yourself during the healing process. Practice self-compassion as much as possible. So I think she's got all those said, and who am I to tell her how to handle her breakup? What we see with After the Final Rose, like that commenter said, is that there is sort of a very heightened response because they're rewatching it back. They're getting upset. There's an audience ready to cheer them on. There's a social media aspect to it. What are you going to say or do that's going to make people be put on your side? When Jesse asked at the very end, Rachel, is there anything else that you wanted to say? Of course they had rehearsed this. Of course Jesse knew, give her the final moment to say to Clayton, did you say you love me because you just wanted to get in my pants? And look, Clayton says no, but maybe that's part of it. Maybe he wanted to see how the relationship played out on the physical side to see if it was going to work. Maybe, whatever. I don't know. I can't speak for Clayton. I don't know what's going through his head. Either way, the job worked for Rachel. She was able to spike her followers. Number 2 gained. This is from Bachelor Data, our good friend Susanna, which, by the way, if you didn't see my conversation with Susanna, maybe I'll replay it. Maybe I'll replay it this afternoon. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I had her on my live stream. I'll replay that. Check on back, and I'll air it again because a lot of people didn't catch that. But anyway, top gainer and top rate of gaining Instagram followers, Gabby. And then Rachel, a close second, followed. She got 110% growth rate just in the finale. Skyrocketed straight up. And that's because they were announced as bachelorettes, and people want to follow their story. So we have Clayton here is now at 279,000 followers. And look at this. We've got Rachel, Pilot Rach, over here, just at 278,000. So right behind him. You know what's so funny is we now see how heartbroken she was and angry she was. And it's funny that they were still probably contractually obligated to post these photos, but you can clearly see she makes no reference of Clayton in the photo. So happy to get the opportunity to share the people and place I love with all of you. Also, fun fact, I was born and raised in Chicago and only moved to Florida when I was a teenager. So there she is. No mention of Clayton whatsoever. And then the family, of course. So, hey, good for her. We're happy for her. So to answer the question in the thumbnail, is she ready to find love? Who are we to know? One can imagine she's had 4+ months off of a relationship that only lasted 4+ weeks. I think as far as the Sex and the City rules go, she's ready to move on, right? What do they say? For every year you're dating, you need 1 month single. Is that how it works? I don't know. Whatever. Either way, she's going to have her pick of the litter. And by litter, I mean a bunch of bros in their 20s that don't wear socks with their dress suits. All right, folks, moving on. I'm going to be going live right after this on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. If you want to check membership behind these scenes, membership-only content, you can go over there. I'm going to go talk a lot of trash about members of Bachelor Nation. All right, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye, guys.